This is going to be the Botanica as a protection warrior. Had a bunch of perfectly serviceable runs here. This one was pretty quick and smooth. Am I going to look at my party members? I'm just going to kind of go. Man, I was ready to go. Not waiting for anything. Alright, let's puzzle out what we have here. I see Arcane Mage stuff. I see Fury Warrior, I think. That looks like two two-handed weapons to me. Restoration Druid. Okay, got it. My notes say that I probably did not give the healer much to do during this dungeon. Let's see if that impression holds. This place is linear and straightforward, and there's not much to it, really. A couple of slight problem spots you have to know to look out for. They can catch an unprepared party off guard by, like, a lot more damage than expected based on what's in the rest of the dungeon, but other than that, this place is quite straightforward. I see a mage, and that's everybody, right? Well, hang on, no, hang on. There's an Arcane Mage, and there's Restoration Druid. Two mages? Two mages. Both arcane? One has that arcane shield, which makes it real obvious. Yeah, okay, I see arcane blast, or whatever that is, coming from the distance. Two arcane mages. Got it. Warrior is fun because I can kind of just go like as fast as I feel like going. Don't have to stop for much of anything, and I have a lot of buttons that move me forward quickly. As long as I have something to target. 2 charges of intercept, heroic leap. All sorts of stuff. I'm probably going to throw my weapon at that peacekeeper. I tried to, but I misclicked. Didn't manage to untarget this thing. Those dudes I just fought have a mechanic where they'll pick a party member and have all of their Blood Falcons target that person instead of whoever's at the top of the threat table. But they died too quick for that to matter. Okay, right, so we have 2 Arcane Mages. Of course damage is going to be ridiculous. It's like an Arcane Mage who knows what they're doing is going to be at the top of the damage meters most of the time, at least while leveling. Fury Warrior is not bad either. Protection Warrior does perfectly fine damage. His tank goes. I wonder if this Druid's managing to contribute anything. I'm not seeing them in close in cat form. I'm not spotting any Moonfire or Sunfire, but now I'm going to be looking. I mean, a lot of people who play healers do seem to just like to stand off in the distance and cast healing spells and never do any attacks, which is perfectly fine. Just depends on their preferred playstyle. I didn't really want to get like all 3 or 4 groups of these at the same time and the boss, so I was being a little bit careful there because it's not too hard to do that if you get a little too close there. She moves back and forth. What am I going to do? Pull those back here probably? Yep, that's the plan. I'll pick up what's her name, Commander Soranus, if she gets close. Well, these are going to be dead before it even matters. Yep, okay. Boy, did I pick 2 opposite runs to show today. Which button did I just press that made me all angry? Okay, so I did Avatar, which gives me twice as many thunderclaps. What was that first one? My character roared angrily. Oh, it was ignore pain, of course. Right. All these buttons I have down there, and I know what they all do now. When it was... Ooh, I just was reminded of something. So back when it was Love is in the Air season, and I would go and kill the Crown Chemical Co. on every character I had available every day. I would bring my Tauren warrior in protection specialization just for a little bit of practice, and because that fight just didn't matter, you could bring anything at all there and get it done easily. So I got a little bit of level, 80 or whatever she was, protection warrior practice then, but I had, all these buttons and a few more, and didn't know what they did then, didn't know which ones to press. So it is an interesting feeling to look at basically the same action bar, but actually know what everything does and when to use it. So yeah, this is why I like to actually level a character to learn class and specialization. Because if I just start at, some level that's decently high, I just don't really get to learn as well what each of the buttons does. But if I get them one at a time and can try each one out in a dungeon setting, it works much better. So at this point, I probably could totally just retire this character and switch to my Tauren instead. The plan is to get him to level 80 and lock him there. Actually, he already is, as I say these words. So he is locked at level 80. He'll finish out the Wrath of the Lich King and Burning Crusade dungeons. Then he gets retired and kept around for level sync with other people if I need somebody to turn into a level 80 character to run a dungeon. I could, if I wanted to, do that right now. Oh right, sorry, second boss here. Hi, Botanist Freywin. The only interesting thing he does... So occasionally he'll plant seedlings and an extra dude will come up, but they just die instantly from area damage, it seems. Only interesting thing he does is he's going to cast Tranquility and become invulnerable until all the guardians he summons during that have died. So there's no point in targeting him during... It should happen right about now. Whoa, he almost died before that. So Freyr Protectors all have to go away. His Tranquility's healing them, but you just have to outpace his healing, which is super easy with this group. Then Tranquility stops and he becomes vulnerable again. Anyway, yeah, so if I really wanted to, I guess I could party sync my Tauren warrior and have her do the tanking instead of Jarzak here for the rest of the Wrath of the Lich King and Burning Crusade things. I don't know, party sync's weird though. I don't really like to use it. I've tried it once so far for bringing someone to a dungeon. I accidentally did not disable experience gain on my Death Knight and leveled her up to level 81 before she had finished going through all of the level 80 max dungeons. So I'm now in a situation where I have to start a second instance of World of Warcraft and join a group with myself and press the party sync button. And I feel like just for losing one level, she actually loses a lot of stats, because I was talking about this gear treadmill thing where every time I level up, basically the item level of all of my gear goes down, is essentially how the math works, just because everything gets stronger related to me. So she lost a lot of power by going from 80 to 81 relative to her gear, and her stats and gear all get scaled down when I party sync her from 81 to 80. So I was noticing she didn't have nearly as much health as she would have if I'd kept her at 80, and seemed to be a lot harder to... This is one of the problem spots, by the way. Seemed to be a lot squishier. I had a little bit more trouble staying alive than I'm used to with her when I did the one dungeon that I tried that with. So yeah, I see people go all gung-ho and try to pull every one of these satyrs into combat all at once, and then die horribly because they have pretty nasty poison. This is not the spot where polymorphs happen. But yeah, deadly poison, that's the one. That'll stack up if you're not ready for it. And kill you pretty quick. So ideally just get one group of those at a time. This guy here, Thorngrim the Tender, has just one thing to watch out for. When I see my character getting bigger, I think I'm getting Bloodlust. Yeah, Hellfire, that's the one. I think I'm getting Bloodlust, but it's actually just Avatar. McFlurry here demonstrated just how deadly Hellfire is. If you stand in it for its full duration and your healer's not pumping all of their healing effort into you, you're going to die. So move out. He stopped himself for some reason. That's not interruptible, yet he interrupted it. I wonder why. Maybe he passed some health threshold below which he can't use it anymore or something. There's also a mechanic in this fight where, like, he chooses someone to be sacrificed and teleports them up onto his little stage there, but I don't know exactly what that does. I don't think I've ever been the one sacrificed. So that's one that I'm still actually not sure about. So right, couple of stealth tricksters here. They don't hit that hard. They're just a mild annoyance in this hallway. Here's where polymorph can happen. Okay, so these things, let's see, which one is it? Sunseeker Harvester, Herbalist, okay, so Gene Splicer has an ability called Death and Decay. It just went off. It's much less obvious than the Death Knight's Death and Decay. This was before Death Knights existed, when this dungeon was made. So the Black Fog, it's gonna hurt a lot. Move away from it if Death and Decay happens. I think it must be the Sunseeker Herbalist that casts Polymorph. Nope, it's the Harvester. Alright, so Zebra Pants is now a plant for a moment. And now he's not. If that happens to your healer, be ready not to get healed for a little while, because nobody else is going to have magic dispels. So ideally just interrupt it. If it happens to someone else and you have a healer who knows how to press their dispel button, then it shouldn't last very long. Should be able to safely get all of these at once. Looks like I'm opting just to get 2 out of the 3 groups. For a time. Then I'll pick up the 3rd one when we're in the middle of this. Yep, this is the fun of playing a warrior. I have a button for every situation, and I'm pretty unstoppable. As long as I'm not in really severely over my head, I'll probably get away with whatever I want to do. Laj. I've taken to tanking him in this spot right here, where I'm within range of one of the 2 flowers he's going to summon. I can't get in range of both of them at the same time. At some point he's going to emit some strange noises, teleport back there, and grow 2 thorn flayers. They stay in their little pots there, I guess. But I was close enough to that one to just let my thunderclap kill it. Yeah, this one's casting Mind Flay from over there. That's annoying, sure. They don't stay in their pots. Okay, so only if they have line of sight on who their target is, I guess. Why did that one stop, though, and decide to do that instead? I'm not actually sure. Okay, so we're at the end of the dungeon already. This went super quick. Look at all that green mist on the ground. I wonder if that's a hurt zone. Not a very nasty one if it is. Maybe it's just ornamental. My Volpera's a gnome now, or something? What did he do to himself? Yeah, he's a gnome, okay. Or actually, give me another look at Zebra Pants now. Did he turn into a mecha gnome? Maybe. Arms and legs looked awfully thin, and possibly mechanical. Yeah, I think he's a mecha gnome right now. Alright. I am not familiar with whatever transformation device he just used. Warp Splinter. The one thing of interest he does is he'll summon a bunch of little tree ants from the surrounding area. They'll go all over the place, and I just like to pick them up individually. Here they come. Sapling. So I'll just heroic throw each one, and they'll come to me. I want to say the adventure guide mentioned something about them like healing him if they all get to him, but boy, he died before any had any chance to get to him. Oh boy, yeah. So we had a really high damage, super coordinated group there. Everybody knew what to do. Alright, there we go. I'm going to pick this flower before I leave. Super quick run on Botanica. I'll see you next time.